All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Sunday and happy Easter celebration. Hmm. We believe that we're all enjoying the Easter celebration with our families, with ourselves, with everything that we've got. So it's the end of the month and it's our review session. We are we are on the book. We read the book, The Smart Money Woman, and then the movie too. Both are actually talking about the same thing, almost the same thing. Both emphasized on um, almost the same thing. So the movie was just, let's say, a more creative expression of the book itself, the lessons, everything that the book was talking about, everything that the book entailed. That was basically what the movie was just. It was just trying to buttress the point. So, um, I'm going to be talking about most of the things that I learned from the book. Most of the things that I learned from, and to be sincere, some of the things that were stated there are things that I've been guilty. I was guilty of, and few of them I'm still guilty of them. But being that the reason for reading, the reason for learning this knowledge, the reason for reading these books, the reason for watching these movies, trying to enlighten your mind is for you to know where you're getting it wrong, and then trying to adjust, trying to make things better in some way. So um I picked up most of the lessons that I find very, very valuable. And I wrote points down. I wrote down things that I'm going to begin to do to make myself better in terms of finance, in terms of money, in terms of managing money, in terms of making money, managing it, how to spend it, and all of that. So um I'll be talking about points that she spoke about in the book. The first of it being about being broke. She explained everything about what being broke is about, what it actually is, and of course the causes. And she just expressed it in its fullest point. She From her explanation, she was talking about being broke, being that when or if you lose your primary source of income, when you lose your primary source of income, something that this is what you do. And if you lose this thing, maybe a business that you're doing or a service that you're rendering or anything at all that you're doing, if you lose that single source of income, you might not be able, or you not even you might not be able, you will not be able to sustain your current lifestyle. That's basically what being broke is about. So she just explained it in that simple thing. Being broke, or how it affects people, how it affects young women. And the book, from the name itself, it's not just as much as she was addressing women, as much as she was addressing the ladies, as much as she was addressing women. It's not just the lessons that are in the book is not just assigned to women only. It's not just beneficial to women, to ladies only. Men, of course, can also benefit from it. So because I was discussing the book with someone earlier in the week, and he was saying that the name itself gave it out to women only. So I was trying to convince this guy to at least take a look at the book before making some conclusions. So as much as she the name that was given to the book is Smart Money Woman, It's not just dedicated to women alone. It's not just for the female gender alone. Both guys, men can benefit from it. Because another thing I love about the writing of it generally is the way that she broke it down in simple terms. No too much English. No, she wasn't trying to use too high of intelligence or too vague words. She just used very simple ways, very simple terms that an average Nigerian can relate to. She wrote it like like she's a Nigerian. So every person, anyone in Nigeria that can read basically can understand everything that she wrote in the book. You'll be reading the book and you will just be imagining the scenario of what's happening. Even if you've never been to Lagos before, maybe from the stories you've heard about Lagos and what's happening there, everything that goes on there, you can be able to imagine it. And then you can be able to put yourself in some situation. You can be able to pinpoint things that you are doing with your finances that's not right. How you got yourself into debts, or how and why you are in a mess with your finance, things you're not getting right, what you should do, what you need to do. So she broke all these things down in the book, and at the end of each chapter, she gave um she gave some advice what you can do, and then there are parts of exercise where she gave you list of things that you need to do. Like if you're very very intentional about your finance life, about your finance journey, you can just get started, not just procrastinating it and say maybe you'll start next week or tomorrow or next month or anytime soon. You just have to put down those things, get started, put it into action, and see where it leads you, right? So, the next thing she talked about in the next chapter is money fears. Money fears. Most of the things that we are afraid of about money, maybe things that we heard in childhood, or maybe for someone that grew up in a poor family or a poor background, for someone that have lived in abject poverty, the kind of mindset that they have gathered, the kind of things that they have heard about money, the kind of education, if at all they had any education about money, maybe what they heard from their friends, what they heard from their peers, what they saw from their environment. These are the things that tends to build up the mindset of a person, of an individual, about money, about making money, sustaining money, spending money. So most of the times, these things affect people psychologically, and then uh, they start getting afraid, being afraid of money. Just think that okay, money is the root of all evil. So what's the need of um, making money? Like they don't have a proper understanding of what money truly is. They do not have any basic education, quality education. And talking about education, it's not just about going to school, maybe primary or secondary or university. Like having quality education about money, about finance. So most of these things are the things that majority of us lack. And then these fears will start building up. These fears will start building up. These fears, they keep building up, they keep building up, they keep building up. And when we have when we become independent, when we become 100% responsible for ourselves, when we start running our business, when we start making our own money, when we start taking care of ourselves, being 100% um responsible for ourselves, for our finance, we start making series of mistakes about money, with the money that we are making. We don't even know how to make money, but the one that we make, we spend it recklessly. We spend it without respect. We spend it anyhow. We're not bothered about investing it or how to earn more or how to make good use of the one that we have. We just go about spending it. So these are some of the things that affect us finance financially. So she talked about where is your money going? Hmm. Where is your money going? Okay. This part really interests me. This part she talked about where your money is going, because obviously most of us don't even know the where our money is going. Maybe you can't even track the expenses you do in a day. You can't even track how much you spend in a week, how much you spend in a day, how much you spend on food, how much you spend on transportation, how much you spend on clothes, how much you spend on miscellaneous. All of these things, we do not know how much we spend on. We do not track our expenses. We don't even know where our money is going. And most times we're not even bothered if the money we're making is equal to the task of settling the expenses we're making on a daily, we're making weekly or monthly. And all those things pulls down the stronghold of our finance. It leads us into debt. It leads us into so many mess financially. And then you start questioning yourself. And then some people start getting depressed because they can't even account for what they are doing with their money, or they can't even use they can't even afford their basic needs. So this part is very, very important. You need to know where your money is going. You need to track it and then cut your expenses. Your expenses must, and it should be below, way below what you're making. It should be way below what you're making. The money you're earning, your income. So those are the things, those are the important parts, those are the important aspects, those are the important points that she spoke on, that she talked about. And it's mostly what the movie was showing, because the movie, I love the movie though. I love it. I watched it on Netflix and I love how excellently everything was displayed. Like the story it told. And then the lessons you just gather from it. Like you're watching the movie, you are enjoying it, you are having fun, and then you are also learning valuable lessons that will help you in your finance life. Then if your finance journey is important to you, start taking down points, things that you need to do to make yourself better, to make your finance better, right? Then she talks about dealing with debt, dealing with debt. She talked about dealing with debt. And then she talks about surviving emergencies. So these are the things, majority of the things that she wrote extensively on. There was a place that she was saying something about active and passive income. And then she said that real wealth is when your passive income exceeds your expenses. Active income is the money that you make, or the income that you make, um maybe the work you do, and then you work for it and then get paid. Then passive income is the money that you have already put to work, and the money is now generating income for you, even when you're sleeping, even when you're not working. You don't need to work, but that money that maybe you have invested, or you have used to purchase some property, or you've used to invest in a business or anything, is generating money for you without you being directly involved, without you maybe being there without you doing any work. It just generates income for you. So talking about passive income, it's something that every one of us, we as business owners, entrepreneurs, we should pay quality attention to, because we all need it. Obviously, you're not going to focus on just hard work, just doing the work and trying to get paid, or running a business and generating income or profit from it directly. You should find ways to start earning passive income, making our money to work for us, investing our money, allowing our money, making our money to be assets to us, putting out our money in ways like to start generating income, profit for us, even when we're not directly working it out. So these are some of the things, majority of the things that she talked about, and I enjoyed every bit of it, especially the movie. I enjoyed every of the chapters was very, very enlightening. So we're going to be hearing from every one of us that's present in this review. Share with us, what did you learn, or which part or which chapter that stood out for you, or which part you enjoyed more, or which part that you are currently taking action in, or which part is the one that's struck you the most. So we want to hear from us. What do you think about the book, about the movie? What did you learn? What are the lessons that you hold strong? What are the things that you gained? Right? So let's hear from us. You can unmute your mic and then speak, talk to us. Let's learn together. Miss Grace, you can talk to us if you're up for it.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can
Hello,
hear
good
you.
evening.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I just want to pinpoint something I got while watching the movie and also reading. It's an aspect of the movie when Zuri had to discover what her monthly expenses and a shabby dress.
Mm.
She had to down cut it and it's got to me that when we start taking record of where
Okay, I think Grace has been knocked out. Quickly, I'm going to give my contribution. Good evening, everyone.
Good
The
evening.
movie and the book were phenomenal. That I can't say less. They were phenomenally crafted, and the author did amazing work in the book, and then further improved more on it with the movie. All right. Now there are a few things I want to say, and then so that every other person can speak, because we should be off soon, right? So brokenness, like being broke. I wrote down here that being broke would stain your white. It will stain your white. It will make you to get into mediocrity or survival mood. And in that survival mood is where you don't want to get into as a human being before even as an entrepreneur. If you get into survival, you do almost everything. You do even things you don't like. You do even things that doesn't make sense because you just want to survive. You can do as many things as possible. In fact, you can do bad things because you want to survive, right? And that was what happened to her at the beginning of that movie and the book. But the movie introduced her as a she was coming in from the airport. The movie said meet Zuri, who is living a large life. She has a job and she has a rich boyfriend. She likes traveling, has expensive jewelries and living a large life in Lagos. And her account balance is I think it was 180,000. But she has no assets. She has nothing to her name aside from that small money in her account. But when you see her, you even think that she's richer than you, all right? So that simply implies that everybody you are seeing on the grams, on the social media, all of them that are projecting themselves as if they have plenty money, they do not have anything. I posted recently that people who are rich are not on the social media. All right. Some of us that are on the social media are screaming at people who wants to impress others. All right. So being broke will put you in a survival mood. And that is when she began to talk to people she never had any business talking to. People who she thought she was better off than. She began to look for the mother. She began to draw a list of people who she would talk to. And then one of them, she said, I will talk to the devil before I talk to this person. And she later spoke to that person. And yes, nothing happened because she was trying to survive. So that is a place you do not want to get into. And it's an intentional act for you not to get there. And some of us, unfortunately, some of us have been there almost all the days of our lives. All right? But it's time to come out. I said, being broke will make you to consider doing bad things too, right? It will make you to also think how to come out of that trouble because it's a trouble. Trouble is trauma, right? As long as you are doing well currently, as long as you are doing well currently, you can still be hungry and broke in the nearest future. So you must have to be intentional about planning your finances, about planning your life, about looking towards your retirement, putting money aside. I listen to a lot of financial billionaires who speak of finance, and they will say you must have to stack money somewhere that in 6 months, if you fall out of business, out of job, you still have money to sustain your normal lifestyle for 6 months, minimum, before you can get yourself back and pick yourself up. All right? If you've not attained that status, like the personal expenses you do is 100,000 every day, every month, you should at least have 600,000 somewhere that you are not touching, you are not planning on touching. That is what they call emergency funds. So it's also important that we know that you are doing well today. You are making so much money. Your business is giving you so much money that you never expected. It's not a guarantee that it will continue like that. It can stop tomorrow. Even if it doesn't stop, you get weak, you get tired, you get angry with the system. But what happens if you eat all that you got? How are you going to be able to manage your life? So you need to be very intentional about, and that is what happened to that lady. She never expected that she's going to, at least she had a boyfriend, a rich boyfriend. And after traveling and spending all her money, she was coming into the country and the boyfriend, news everywhere, the boyfriend was getting married to another person. Come on. She never expected it. And that is something very bad about depending on people. Dependency. No, they depend on people too much. Even when you have people who do that, who take those responsibilities for you, you have to begin to use your brain. as an individual and as a business person. Your brain is not there for decoration. You have to begin to use your brain and plan ahead. Don't depend on people all the time. And then you don't have any savings. All the money that comes to you, you are spending them. You are giving to people. You are trying to impress people, buy all this, buy all that. Most of the things you never use. And then you are sending to family. We came out from home. We came to do what? Came out from home to, how is that? Hustling for home. There's this statement. But you need to stand
We
first
left home.
before you can do that. Now the question becomes, how bad are you with money? How bad are you with money? Do you take inventories of your expenses? If you don't take inventory of your expenses, it means that you are really bad with money. Doesn't matter how much it is, though. 5 naira, 15 naira, 10 naira. Are you taking a record of what you spend money on? You will be very bad if you don't take records. The records at the end of the month will sit you down and say, this is where your money is entering. Zuri at a point said, went to the bank and printed out her statement. Come and see where she was spending money. Shoes, 1 million naira in a year. Utility and everything, about 700,000 naira. Somebody that earns about 600,000, about 7.2 million in a year. And then she was spending maybe more, maybe double of her salary. Come on. But that was because she went to go and check out where her money was entering. So where is your money going into as a business person? Is your money going back into your business to grow it? Or is your money going into clothes, impress people, gadgets, to look nice in the public, and you are hungry? Is it going into black tax? You give to family, give to uncle, give to auntie, grandmother that is dying, you give. Even the one that died some years ago, you give. So where is your money entering into? We must begin to become conscious of what happens tomorrow and begins to prepare for unexpected. Because come on, the unexpected will happen. Yeah, the unexpected will happen. How ready are you? If you really want to know a person, look at the person's account statement. Of course, it's difficult to see people's account statement, but that defines who a person is. That your friend. If you can access their account statement, you see where they are spending money on. Keep track on your expenses. Be looking at it, just like the charts, looking at it going up. But we must strive to earn more. Do you understand? As entrepreneurs, the movie and the book was showing us the life of a civil servant. Right? We're looking at the life of a civil servant, but as an entrepreneur, we must strive to earn more. Put a lot of strategies on ground to earn more. And don't be afraid to charge people what you are worth. That is what I learned recently. I learned that recently. Come on, I will start putting price on most of the things. At least it saves me a time. The ones that are serious will go behind back. The ones that are the ones that are not serious will leave. The ones that are serious will bring in the money. You cannot invest heavily on yourself and your business and begin to downplay on it by charging. People have money in this world. There's plenty of money. Now, association played very vital role. Before I talk on association about that movie and book, because you see the kind of friends she had, they had their values. But come on, everybody was fighting a battle. Don't be deceived. Everybody is fighting something. Don't be deceived by the grammar on the grams everywhere. Social media, Facebook, everybody smiling, shining teeth, taking studio pictures. But everybody is fighting something. Everybody. We are fighting things. Adesua and Soji. Zuri was fighting her own. The other woman and Bode, the husband, we are fighting their own. Everybody, even the one that was doing party, went to the bank and borrowed money for party. Everybody is fighting something. Even the richest man in your village, the richest man in Babylon will be fighting something. The devil is fighting something. Even God is fighting something. Everybody is fighting something. Don't just be deceived. But in that fight that you are fighting, your entrepreneurial journey, your life journey, your business journey, who are your associations? If you read that book very well, you see how they were complementing each other. At the point, they were complementing each other. Even at the end of that movie, you saw that they moved from smart money women to smart money tribe because all of them had conquered their problems, their money, they had found need. The one that was doing sewing, that was the fashion designer, ran into trouble, and all of them were running around. Put yourself in cycles where if you run into trouble now, you have people come around for you. Don't go on isolation. Your money journey is not a call for isolation. And that is why we have the Bold Money Entrepreneurs Network. You can make friends from here, and those friends can help your life. Everybody is fighting something. These are a few things I want to point out from this book and the movie. Of course, I wouldn't say everything because we want you to also speak. Thank you so much for giving me audience.
Thank you so much. That was very, very sound. That was excellent. That was explicit. Thank you so much for throwing more light on those factors. We appreciate your time. Okay. Who else is going to talk to us? Who else is going to speak to us? Miss Chamaka, can you unmute your mic and talk to us? What you learned from the book, from the movie, points that stood out for you, or actions you've started taking or you're going to take from the book in respect to the book, the movie. So talk to us. Or Mr. Dominion, can you talk to us? What did you learn? What did you learn? What did you gather? Or places that you can throw light to from the book, from the movie? Please. Anyone that can unmute their mic and talk to us, share their ideas with us, share with us what they learned, or where they are guilty. Some of us are guilty in most of these things. So just talk to us. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
I'm Chamaka Wilfred, and I want to say that the book, the movie, has really been a very big blessing to me. And I also want to thank Dr. Chidoze for sharing, because I also learned a lot from what he said. The book and the movie is just something else. Like it's just something else. Thank God for the way the book was actually written. It was written in a story format that, I mean, even if you don't have time to read, but because of the story, you want to know what happened next, want to know what happened next, and it was quite captivating. Okay, I want to talk about money fears, like so many things that was said in that book and even the movie communicated a whole lot to me. Like I can actually relate with some things that were said there, in the sense that, for example, when they were talking about money fears, I was like, wow, I guess this is me, because there are some things I don't want to face, some things that is a reality, but you can't just stand up to face them, you know. So, but I've realized that if you want to move ahead with your finances and stuff like that, then you must indeed face those fears, no matter what. You must indeed face those fears. And we must also say something. how we behave with money is deeply rooted in how we think about money. How we behave with money will be rooted, will be deeply rooted in how we think about money. I know it can also be linked to how we are trained, the kind of information or training we receive based on money. I know then growing up, we were not really exposed to money in the sense that my mom doesn't allow us to handle money. She in fact, she gets whatsoever for us, be it snacks, be it any payment that should be made in school, she will come make the payment. Like, we don't interact with money. The only time I have access to money is when I'm to go to church, and you have to go with offering now. Be like, wow, this is money. I was telling the truth, it was that bad. Even going to market, like she does all the shoppings, and to the extent that when I grew into adulthood, like when I entered school and start making some shoppings, I know I go to market, make some mistakes because this is me just trying to face money now. So to an extent, money fears, how you were raised, or how you how you behave with money to an extent affects how you even think about it, or how you spend it at the end of the day. So if there's anything we must face, it is fear. Fear, that money fears we have, most of the time that leads to you have, for example, you want to hold it so dear so that you don't lose it. Like, you always have the fear of maybe losing money. I can't do business because definitely I'm going to lose it, and you see yourself just being stuck in one place, being stuck in that little that you have, being stuck in maybe that salary, being stuck in whatsoever. Whereas you're supposed to go beyond. I don't know whether we understand what I'm saying. Whereas you're going to school, we are supposed to go beyond. So if there's anything we must deal with, like I keep telling myself, is that money fears. Whatever kind of fear, be it fear of failing, be it fear of not being able to afford this. There are some things you just be like, no, this one is not for me, Jare. Let me shall be going. I've never attained. You've not even priced it. You've not even like made an attempt to, ask yourself, how am I going to do this? I think, was it not forgotten his name now? Okay, Reverend Sam. It was Reverend Sam Adeyemi that said something in one of his money talks. He said something that sometimes when you most times it's always advisable to confront yourself with some things that appears as if it's too huge for you to get. For example, you looked at something, maybe a product that you know you need, and it appears the money is quite huge. You say most times go for it. Now, when you start thinking about how to get this money, to get this thing, to an extent, it opens your mind to think to think outside the box, more than what you're going to do. But when you just conclude in your heart that, see, this thing is not for me, I don't think I can ever, you see that you will just remain stagnant. You will never think of how to expand your business, how to make more money, because you think that this level of life is not for you. You are just below and you're just going to, keep navigating within that circle. So money fears is what I know, and trusting God to help me to conquer, to face those fears. And there's something I noted that I said the difference between successful people and average people is that successful people acknowledge their fears. They don't allow their fears to overcome them, or stop them from achieving their goals, while average people run away from their fears or allow their fears to conquer them. So that is the major thing I learned. Then another thing I also learned is, you know, money goals, and also spending plans and all that and all that. When they were talking about net worth and all that, I was like, Jesus, even me, whenever they talk about net worth, whenever I hear about what's a net worth, we're like, it's not for people like you now. It's for people that are already at the top, that the people that that their net worth actually matters. In fact, I was confronted with, okay, why not check how much you earn in a year? I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's necessary. So, but as I went through the book, I had to, at some point, I was like, okay, let me even check this thing safe. So when I punched the calculator, I shouted, I said, Jesus. So this is actually how much I make in a year. That, like, it's actually so much. But you see yourself always being broke. Like our brother pointed out, you see yourself always being able to have money goals, how to go around your spendings, how to make more money, how to, go outside your circle or go outside the box to think outside the box to do stuffs that you could actually do to make money so that you keep, you keep circulating, you keep going around the circle and doing stuff that that may not even make so much for you. So let me just end here. I know there's still a whole lot I learned, but let me end here. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Anyway, talking about you or your sibling not having access to money, not at all. Like it was kind of funny because most of us experience stuff like that. Like growing up, you don't even have any access to money, not at all. Because they feel like I don't know what they actually think. Maybe we can't manage the money, or we haven't gotten to the stage when we can be able to make something with the money, or maybe they are afraid that we'll lose the money, or we can't actually pinpoint what they were thinking then. But then it happened, and most of these things affected some of us. But thank God that we've gotten to the stage where we are trying to become better, where we're trying to make ourselves better, where we're trying to, to learn, to grow, to uproot all those mindsets that held us down in so many parts of our life, financially and other aspects of our life. And then we're striving to come out of it, to grow and to build stability in the knowledge that we have gathered. And
I think that has to do with what the writer, the author
of
of
course,
Psychology of Money. Okay, sorry.
Okay. So thank you so much, Miss Chamaka, for those enlightening words. We appreciate you. So, Mr. Achedozie, go ahead, please. You were saying something.
So I think that has to do with what the writer or the author of The Psychology of Money, yes, I think that The Psychology of Money, yes, was emphasizing at the beginning part of his book, The Psychology of Money. I remember, I think I'm conflicting between psychology of money and psychology of wealth, but I'll find out. I think that's what he was saying about family operating system. Most of the issues we have. Okay, sorry. So most of the issues we have as young people and entrepreneurs actually started from the family, the operating system we were trained with. And this is time for us to begin to improve, for us to begin to readjust, for us to begin to change the mindset. When Mrs. Chiamaka was talking, she was saying something about where she was growing up, how she was able to access touch money and all that, right? Some of us, nobody believed in us. Nobody gave us that morale from the family. Nobody gave us that impression that we can actually make money, manage it and multiply it from the family. So I think we should learn that too, because we're going to be raising a family soon if we've not started. If that is so, it simply means that there is work to do. We must have to do the work of re-engineering our minds. And that is exactly what we are doing from here. All right, so I would recommend that book, Psychology of Money. Yes, Psychology of Money. I think I'm correct. There's another one, Psychology of Wealth too. all right? So you could read two of them and understand how this relates to you and your entrepreneurship journey and your money journey, all right? So please, can another person speak? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Who else is going? Please share with us, share with us, share with us. Mr. Dominion, can you hear me? If you're up for it, you can unmute your mic and talk to us. Mr. Chukwebuka, Mr. Ebenezer, if you're up for it, you can unmute your mic and talk to us, please. Share with us, share with us.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. I would like to share a little light on what I learned from the book. Although I didn't finish, I was unable to finish the movie and the book. But from the one I watched, I was able to learn that we have to track our expenses. It's very important. And that taught me the real definition of being broke. That it's just all about probably you're living fine and not having other sources of income, such that if you lose one, your lifestyle would crash down to you being exactly broke. So it taught me that as well, and the importance of tracking and budgeting, and as well the association we belong to. Because initially her and her friends, she was spending much that way because her associations, her friends were spending much that way. But when she began to educate herself, she was not actually comfortable in the association so much that way. So this is just the much I've been able to pick from the book I read. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Talking about the association. Hey, so many ladies, so many women are in that shoot, and most times they might not. They want to come out of that kind of association. They want to come out from stuff like that, situations like that, but break free from friends like that, but they don't know how. So they were buying ashebi. There was way above the money they were making. Like, can you imagine spending that much on ashebi? So plus all other expenses that you make just because you want to do an ashebi for your friend, or you want to attend the wedding, you want to just fit in, just trying to fit in. So make it not be like say your own they're different or all of those stuff. So every one of them will always want to belong. They will always want to maybe prove a point, or they will always want the group to know that okay, they are part of the game, they know what they are doing. So most times these pressures they put us in financial mess. If we do not courageously bring ourselves out from such situations, from such friends, from such type of stuff. We keep going deeper, deeper, deeper. Just keep making unnecessary expenses, just just to fit in, just to impress someone, just to impress friends. Know that you don't have this money to attend the wedding. Know that you don't have this amount of money. Like it's not an expenses that you can carry without it weighing your finances down, and then you just decide to put yourself push yourself into doing it just because you want to impress maybe the person that's getting married, or your friend, or the clique, or the team, or the, the so you just want to that association, you just want to impress them, you just want to let them know that you're still in the game. So all of these things pulls us down financially until we take control. We just keep being messed up. Our finance will just keep being messed up. So that part is very, very important. And although sometimes it might not be easy for you to do it, for you to come out from situations like that, for you to explain it to someone, maybe an association that you've been part of, and everyone is doing it for everyone when it's getting to their turn and all of those stuff. Then when your situation turns financially, and then you think or you know that you need to make this decision, it might not be easy. It might be really, really difficult for you to make some certain decisions. But for your own sake, for the sake of your mental health, for the sake of your finance,
Yeah.
for the sake of your future, you have to make certain decisions. So that's a wonderful contribution. Thank you so much. So who else is going to talk to us? Who is going to share with us? Mr. Dominion, can you talk to us? Mr. Ebenezer, can you talk to us? Please unmute your mic and talk to us, share with us. We are almost done so that we can round up. Okay. If there is no one else that's up to sharing with us, I think we'll have to conclude this meeting now. So thank you all so much for showing up in today's review session. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As much as Bold Money College appreciates you, it's also for our mutual benefit. It's for our individual benefits. At least you get to, hear others speak. Maybe some points that didn't really speak to you. Someone can be sharing their review and then you pick something from it, or can be sharing what you learned from the book, and then another idea or another point will strike you that would be really, really important to you, that will do something very magical to you. So thank you all so much for joining in today's review session. At this point, we're going to call it a night. In the month of April, we're going to be reading Think and Grow Rich. We'll send the book and the movie that we're going to be reading and watching in the month of April in the group. So I believe and I hope that we're going to do this again next month. I wish you all a happy new month in advance. Happy, blessed, blissful, glorious month of April. It shall be a blessed one. And finally, this book that we read, the movie that we watched, if we do nothing about it, it will be as good as we didn't read it or we didn't even watch it. So there is absolutely no need of you reading it if you didn't implement what you learned, if you didn't even if it's just one plan or one point that you picked and you're going to take action on it, just do it. With time, you see